Okay, I am done gatekeeping this, and I wasn't gatekeeping it in a way that I didn't want people to know about it, but I was gatekeeping it in a way that I felt silly that I do this and felt even weirder sharing this with people. But I've been kind of experimenting with sharing weird things on here and a few other channels, and people seem to want more of it. So after sharing this with a few friends and using it myself, the results that people are getting, it's like kind of too good not to share this at this point. So yeah, I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. So like I said before, mirror work and EFT is great. Mirror work on its own is great. EFT on its own is great. But something people don't talk about very often, because I think it's a little newer, is like self-havening or havening is the other technique, and it's or what it's called, and it's literally just there's a few ways you can do it. One is rubbing your face, one is rubbing your hands together, and one is doing this, just kind of rubbing down to your wrists from your shoulders. And all the while you're just kind of really savoring that feeling of contact, of one hand on the other and that kind of thing. And this has been shown in studies and in actual clinical work and with actual people that have PTSD and whatnot, to be extremely effective at regulating the nervous system and getting people back to a rest digest baseline instead of constantly being in this fight or flight stress anxiety mode. But what I've been doing is taking the self-havening and mixing it with the mirror work. And if you've tried the mirror tapping, that's one flavor of it, and if that's working for you, keep doing that. But for me, this is what I do more often, because at the end of it, I feel more of a centered, like the mirror tapping, I feel very energized, ready to go, woohoo, like that kind of thing at the end of it, which is great when I'm having like maybe a slow start to the day or need a little bit of energy in the afternoon or something like that, or to hype myself up. But the self-havening with the mirror work gets me to more of a place of like the Neville Goddard, like living the end, or like I'm already this. Because part of it's like if you did have achieved that goal or that dream, after a few weeks or days or weeks, it probably would just feel like oh, it's just part of my life. You wouldn't be super excited about it. You might be, and that'd be great, but we are hedonists at our core, and the thing with that is that as soon as you experience something, the more you experience it, you kind of start taking it for granted, and it feels more and more mundane, more and more like a day-to-day thing. So you might be wondering how to do this, and I'm going to get to that right now. To start, you do have a little homework with this, and this is kind of like my own twist that I think makes it even more effective, in my opinion. But we're going to steal a teeny tiny page out of pretty much any Neville Goddard book, and we are going to come up with a mind movie of living in the end. This basically like short visualization, maybe 10 to 45 seconds long, of a scene that implies that your dream or goal has already been achieved. And the easiest example of that is like, say you want to get a promotion, and your dream is to get that promotion. It's the next step in your career. Your imaginative act, which is what Neville calls it, would be this short scene of essentially, maybe you shaking your boss's hand and then hearing them say, "You're the right person for this job. We couldn't have given this promotion to anyone better. You are going to do amazing." And you're just going to, that imaginative act is just there to basically, so you replay over and over and over and over again. And you can use that in other scenarios, like right when you wake up or as you're going to sleep, which is also how Neville says you should use it, in these states akin to sleep. But how we're going to need to use it is we're going to stick it right in the middle of this practice. So in order to get started, how I do it is, you're looking yourself dead in the eyes in the mirror, and this is going to feel funny to begin with, but at the end of it, you're going to feel great. And at the very least, you're going to feel much calmer and less stressed. But you're going to be looking yourself in the eyes, and you're going to start your self-havening practice. However you want to do it. Like I said, you can even just do this with your hands. It'll work just as well. But I do this one. So you're going to be doing this, and you're going to be doing this the whole time. So I'm not going to do it the whole time right now because I'm sure you can hear my shirt on the mic, and it's kind of distracting. But this is just a example of what you're going to be doing the entire time for this. So you're going to start your self-havening, and you can look yourself in the eyes, and you start with the first, few phrases are going to be self-appreciation phrases. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. I see all the hard work you put on, even though other people might miss it. You've showed up day after day for me, and I appreciate that more than you will ever know. We are awesome, that kind of thing. And then you're going to go into the stuff around, the affirmations around what you're trying to achieve. Like, I am so happy that I was given this promotion. I feel so comfortable in my new job. This new job feels like it fits me like a glove. I have been doing so good and hitting all of my numbers for this new job, just as an example. And as you kind of get into that, as the excitement is amping up and up and up, just keep coming back to, this calming, grounding, somatic practice of the self-havening in your mind as you're doing it. And then about halfway through, when you feel like you're kind of peaking, keep the self-havening going, shut your eyes, and start playing your imaginal act over and over and over and over again. For maybe a minute and a half to 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, whatever you're feeling. And then as soon as that is done, start again with the outward affirmations and open your eyes as if you've just come out of that imaginal act, out of that mind movie. And then continue with a few minutes of affirmations. And then when you feel like you're complete, end it with, I like to end it with, I love, or thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I love you, I love you, I love you. And then go on with your day. At the end of this, after trying it, at the very least, you're going to feel centered, calm, and clear, which I know for me most days is a big improvement. And whenever I'm in that spot, it's just a better place to operate from as a human. Instead of, most people are operating from that scared, stressed, anxious, frenetic energy of trying to go out and demolish and hustle and whatever. And in my experience, it is so much easier, so much more pleasant, and so much more sustainable to come from that centered place and start taking smart, logical, and inspired action one by one as it comes up. And to me, it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare, but that's for a whole other video. I think I've tried to explain this as well as I could without rambling too much. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you want a place to start, go check out my mirror tapping videos, whichever one trips your trigger. I only think I have 2 or 3 on here right now. And instead of doing the tapping, just do the self-havening the whole time. And that will at least give you a taste of how powerful this practice is. And then you can go take that on your own and add in the mind movie and whatever affirmations fit your goals, dreams, and desires better. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this. Try it out. Let me know what you think. I think you're going to be pretty surprised.